अविनाश सर सुरू करा. कदम सर सुरू करा.
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. माझा आवाज येतोय ना जाधव सर?
Yes, sir.
काय येतोय?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes. Friends, welcome all. As you all know that we, the SRTM University Nanded, is organizing a lecture series mainly focusing national education policy. And today we have 7th guest lecture of our lecture series. On behalf of this university, I, Dr. Avinash Kadam, Professor and Director of School of Earth Sciences, welcome all. Today we have Dr. Manesh B. Kokre sir. Basically, he is from Pune, born in 1972. He has completed his diploma in Industrial Electronic Engineering from the Board of Technical Examination, Maharashtra, in 1990. He has good connection with Nanded from Sri Guru Govind Singh Institute of Engineering and Technology, SGGS, Nanded. He has successfully studied for his BE and ME degree in electronic in 1993 and 1999 respectively. And he has his research area is electronic and electronical communication engineering, and he has PhD completed from IIT Kharagpur in 2005. He completed postdoctoral research work in 2011-12 at the University of California, USA. He is presently holding the position of Professor and Dean Academic, Coordinator of Center of Excellence in Signal and Image Processing, and Coordinator of RUSA. He has published more than 100 papers in international and national journals and conferences. His research work got citation of about 2,700 and more. He received the prestigious Career Award for Young Teachers in 2005 from AICTE, New Delhi. He honored with Best Achiever of SGGS Alumni. He also received a Boys Cast Fellowship of US dollar of rupees 38,000 from Government of India for carry out postdoctoral research work, and the University of California, USA in 2011-12. Dr. Kokre was honored with the Best Teacher Award by our university, Swami Ramananda Tirth Marathwada University, Nanded in September 2013. And recently, Dr. Kokre has been honored with AICTE Vishweshwaraya Best Teacher Award 2020. This is very brief about Dr. Mangesh B. Kokre sir. Today he will discuss on multiple entry and exit option and academic bank credit system in UG and PG degree program. With these few words, I'm requesting you, sir, to deliver and discuss today's topic. Dr. Kokre sir, please.
Thank you, sir. But the topic which was given for me was examination system in Autonomous Engineering College.
हा सर बरोबर आहे. सॉरी, ती आमचीच कॉपी पेस्ट थोडी चूक झालेली आहे.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll talk about examination systems in Autonomous Engineering College.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for introducing me. So I'll share my screen. Okay, sir. Is this visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So, thank you, sir. Yeah. So earlier in 2 sessions, I talked about how to write effective research paper and then research ethics. Now, in this session, I'll talk about the examination systems in Autonomous Engineering College. Here, particularly, I'll talk about the revamping of examination system first. So how to set a quality question paper. And then after that, I'll talk about how to manage the examination system in Autonomous Engineering College. Okay, so my lecture has been planned according to that. So you know that the role of examination or assessment in higher education or any education system plays a very important role in deciding the quality of education. If the examination standard is high, definitely the quality of education will be also high, right? So they must not only assess students' achievement, okay, or grades, but also measure whether the desired learning outcomes have been achieved or not. And you know that in last 2 years, particularly in pandemic, because of online examination system, it's not only in our university or like that, it's worldwide. Things are happened, and most of the students got a very high grade, like high CGPA or SGPA, but that does not reflect actually the performance of the students, whether they have learned the things or not. Okay, so the achievement of objectives and programs outcomes are crucial and need to be proven through accurate and reliable assessment through the examination or evaluation pattern of any system. So the academic quality of examination or question papers in the Indian education system is always has been a matter of concern from long time. Okay, and so you know that it is widely acknowledged, okay, that you might have seen that, for example, if somebody offers an elective subject, if that teacher is a strict teacher, if that teacher evaluates strictly, so definitely number of students admitting to that course will are less. So that is the fact. Whereas the teacher who is very lenient and then assesses performance very leniently, many students of that elective and so on. But truly, if you ask the question whether the students have learned the things from that teacher or not, so because it is a natural tendency that people or student will follow the least resistance path and so on. So if you want to improve the quality of teaching, learning, or assessment, then assessment, you know that assessment drives the learning. So what and how students learn depends to a major extent on how they think they will be assessed and so on. So if they are rigorously assessed in the examination system, so definitely they will learn more. If they are leniently assessed in the examination system, so they will not think more about that one, and then learning will not happen up to that deep and so on. So the question paper that requires simple memory recall will not ensure the deep or meaningful learning. So if you look at the present system, so many question papers which are set, it's not only in engineering, it is across all the disciplines. So many question papers which are set are based on simple memory recall. Like, for example, you mug up the things and then you reproduce. So whether with that system, whether those students have learned really that subject or program outcomes have been attended or not, so it is a big question mark. So the question papers that require simply memory recall will not ensure the deep or meaningful learning. And the high expectation for learning motivates the student to rise to the occasions. So we need to keep the high expectation. You know that when I was doing my PhD at IIT Kharagpur. And so during the first year, we were given the coursework, and then I was given a coursework of image processing of my own Professor B.N. Chatterjee. And in that coursework, there were students from BTech as well as MTech and some research scholars like us. So it was a big class of 85 students. Okay. And you know that after 45 days, there was a mid-semester evaluation or midterm examination. And all of a sudden, professor announced that this will be an open book examination. Now, before that, we never came across open book examination particularly in state engineering, university system and so on. And for this open book examination, who was ready? Most of the BTech students were really happy for this open book examination. But the most frightened people were MTech students, those who have done their BTech from State Engineering College, and also the PhD student, those who have done their BTech from State Engineering College or MTech from State Engineering College. So they were most frightened people. Whereas the students of BTech, they were happy because they are molded, like they can appear such kind of examination. And you know that open book examination means the question paper, quality of question paper is such that, okay, it will be the toughest. And second thing is that even if you can refer any kind of book, even you can refer internet or anything, okay, you will not find the answer. So unless and until your fundamentals are clear, you are not able to solve that problem. And if your fundamentals are clear, then you can solve any real world problem. So to solve the real world problems, your learning should happen very thoroughly, okay, or meticulously. And for that, examination system plays a very important role. So how do you assess and so on? So you know that many IIT students, okay, they are very aggressive, or particularly in solving the real world problem, they can solve very quickly as compared to the other state engineering college and so on, because they are molded in that. So many question papers or many subjects in IIT, they have open book examination system, and students, okay, learn those subjects very thoroughly. So even if you do any kind of problems, so they will find the solution. And for that, okay, problem, it's not only one solution, there may be a multiple solutions. So the way you think, okay, to solve that problem, so definitely that, okay, that kind of solutions will be acceptable and so on. Only thing is that end result should be same, right? So what I said is that the question paper that requires simply memory recall will not ensure the deep or meaningful learning. So it will be just mug up kind of thing or rote learning kind of thing, and then okay, just reproduce that one and then get the grade. That does not justify that you have learned that subject thoroughly or not. So if you want to keep the high expectation for learning or to motivate the student to rise to the occasion, then the question paper quality should be very high, or the assessment must be embed those high expectations to ensure that the learner is motivated to attend them. So considering above imperative, it is clear that reforms in the examinations are critical for improvement of the quality of Indian education. Recently, last year in 2020-21, AICTE has also started this one revamping or basically reforms in examination systems, so that student will actually learn the graduate attributes and so on and so on. Okay. So why there is a need for reforms in examination system? You know that the globalization of the world economy and higher educations are driving profound changes in the education system. Everywhere this outcome-based education is talked about. You take the NAAC, okay, outcome-based education system is adopted, or even if you take the NBA, so there also you have to map with the outcome-based education and so on. So worldwide adoption of outcome-based education framework, okay, and enhanced focus on higher order learning and professional skills necessitates the paradigm shift in a traditional practice of curriculum design, not only in curriculum design or not only in education delivery or okay, but it also how do you assess those students, okay? So whether you are really assessing like for example, in a graduate attributes, like after graduating the student, whatever may be the graduation branch, like whether it is engineering or arts or commerce or science and so on. So every branch has a graduate attributes. So to attain these graduate attributes, you have to define the program outcomes. To achieve this program outcome, you have to define the course outcomes. So all those are interlinked with each other, and then course outcome will be assessed by the examination system. So you have to link this examination system with all those object-based, outcome-based education system and so on. So examination or student assessment play a very important role in deciding the quality of education. So in recent years, you know that worldwide sweeping reforms are being undertaken to bring about the essential changes in the education in terms of what exactly you are teaching. So what is expected that after graduating this student, what kind of skill that student will achieve, what kind of attributes that student will have, and then so how to teach that student so that student will achieve those attributes. And then after teaching that, you have to evaluate whether that student has really achieved that one or not. So for evaluation, examination system should be linked with the outcome-based education and so on. So examination reforms are very, very essential in higher education. Not only in like for example, engineering branch, but all over branches. Examination reforms are highly essential so that the whatever the course we have designed, and whatever the course attributes we are expecting, whether we are really achieving that attributes or not. So to check that one, examination reforms are highly essential. So we'll talk about how to connect this PO assessment with the examination, and then how to use a Bloom's taxonomy for setting the question paper. So you know that in Bloom's taxonomy, there are 6 levels, and then how to use all those 6 levels so that overall assessment of the student will be done and the quality of evaluation will be highly increased and so on. So and also we'll see that like for example, when we are taking the continuous evaluation or end semester evaluation, so how many levels we can go while taking, because it is a time limited examination. But if you want to have the higher level of Bloom's taxonomy, our students should be evaluated with that one, then what method we should adopt so that students will be also evaluated with the higher level of Bloom's taxonomy and so on. So that is what I'm going to talk about in this one. So first question is that can we basically link this outcome-based education or program outcomes or attributes to the examination system, because today we are talking about the examination system, and then how to relate that examination system with OBE. So that is what first we are talking. So mapping program outcomes to the examination. So you know that graduate, as I said, that graduate aptitudes articulates the generic ability to be looked for a graduate of any undergraduate degree program. So as I said that when you say that this student has completed art degree or science degree, so after completion of this art degree or science degree or engineering degree like electronics engineering and so on, so this student will have this kind of attributes or this kind of skills he will have and so on. So that is particularly at the graduate aptitude attributes level. So to achieve this one, we have different subjects. Like for example, in engineering, to become an engineer of electronics engineer, that student has to learn 40 subjects. So every program has some outcomes which will be linked with the graduate attributes and so on. So the next level of abstraction level is nothing but the program outcomes. So that reflects the skill or knowledge and abilities of graduate regardless of the field of study. Once you have said that one, decided that one which will link with the graduate attributes, then after that, you have to go with the individual course, like what is the course outcome, so that it will map with your program outcome, and then a program outcome will map with the graduate aptitude and so on, attributes and so on. So outcome at each successive level needs to be aligned with the contribute so that program outcomes will be there and so on. Now, whether this has been achieved or not, Okay, so that you have to verify, and this can be verified by using the examination. So our examination system should be linked with all those OBE based system and so on. So mapping program outcomes to the assessment or examination is very, very important when you are setting any question paper to evaluate the student. So the courses are the building blocks of any programs. Okay, so teaching strategy or learning activities or assessment. So courses can be taught like as a simple classroom teaching, or by giving learning activities, or by assessment, and researches should all be designed and organized to help the students, so that a student will achieve the learning outcome at that course level and so on. So in the assessment activities, students demonstrate their level of achievement of the course learning outcomes. And for the effectiveness of this program, the achievement of program outcome is very, very crucial, which needs to be proven through the accurate and reliable assessment and so on. So you know that these are the programs. So how to connect these program outcomes with the assessment is very, very important when you are setting the question paper. So quality question paper and so on. See that program outcomes are there, and then after that competencies to be attained to this program outcomes, and then to measure whether you have student have attained that competencies or not. So there should be some kind of performance indicator, so PIs are there, and then whether these are achieved or not, that should be verified through the assessment or through the examination. So you take the program outcome 1, then competency 1.1 will be there, and then for that performance indicators like 1.1.1 or 1.1.3 are there, and for every performance indicator, when you are setting any question paper, it should be related with this one. Like for example, this question will help to achieve the this competency 1.1 in the question paper of that student and so on. So like that way, we have to link our questions so that student will be evaluated, and finally, once that student learns and pass that, so it is expected that after graduating, student will achieve the course, course attribute and so on, right? So so for that, you have to improve the structure and quality of assessment. So in our education system, so written examinations play a very major role in assessing the learning and awarding of the grades of the student. And you know that if you see many question papers, like most of the questions are repeated, which are asked in the previous examinations and so on. So passing such kind of questions are really not that much challenging and so on. So universities and colleges give the highest weightage to the outcomes of written examination in overall grading, and questions raised in the examination or test papers play an important role in defining the level of learning to the student. So it's expected to achieve in the course and hence the program. So our aim is basically whether, after graduating that student, whether that student had achieved those attributes of that course or not. So that is very, very important, or whether that has been learned or not, that is very, very important. And this should be measured in terms of examination or assessment. So since assessment drives the learning, you know that the design of question papers need to go beyond the mere test of memory recall. Like for example, just I'll mug up the things and I'll reproduce that one. So that just does not give a guarantee that whether that student has learned that concept clearly or not. So they also need to test higher order abilities and skills and so on. So written examinations assess a very limited range of outcomes and cognitive levels and so on. So particularly in the courses where course outcomes cover a broad range of expectation, or a written examination alone will not be sufficient to make the valid judgment about whether that student has learned that subject thoroughly or not. So wide range of assessment, like for example, we assess the student based on the term paper or open-ended problem solving assignment or course or lab projects or portfolios and so on. So need to be employed to ensure that the assessment method match with the learning outcomes and so on. So it is advisable to formulate the assessment plan or set the question paper for each of the course in the program that brings clarity and which will align assessment with the learning outcome of that course and also the level of learning. Okay, student is expected to achieve, and then assessment method to be adopted for this one. And to ensure that one, that we can use the Bloom's taxonomy while setting the question paper. This is very, very important to evaluate the overall performance of that student, and we can measure whether that learning has really happened. And after learning all those, completing that entire program, students will be having that kind of attributes which are expected and so on. So Bloom's taxonomy provides an important framework to not only design the curriculum, but also give the framework for assessment of the student, or how to conduct the examination, how to set the question paper by using Bloom's taxonomy and so on. So Bloom's taxonomy of educational objective developed in 1956 by Benjamin Bloom and was widely accepted by educators for curriculum design and assessment. But in 2001, Anderson modified the Bloom's taxonomy to make it relevant to the present day requirement and so on. So it attempts to divide the learning into 3 types of domain, like for example, learning in cognitive way or affective way and a behavioral way and so on. So, and then define the level of performance for each domain and so on, right? So conscious efforts to map the curriculum and assessment to these levels can help the program aim for higher level abilities, and which will go beyond remembering or only understanding and require an application, analysis, evaluation, or creation and so on. So that this is the levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So the most lowest level is remembering kind of level. Then second level of Bloom's taxonomy is understanding the concept. Remembering the concept, understanding the concept. And third level is that once you have understood that concept, then how to apply that concept to solve the problem. So that is the third level of Bloom's taxonomy. The fourth level of Bloom's taxonomy is how to analyze the given situation by remembering, understanding, and applying that concept and so on. And then next level of Bloom's taxonomy is evaluating the systems. And then the last level is creating, like for example, developing the product or developing something new out of that. Whatever the knowledge you have taken, based on that one, you are creating something new. So that will be the last objective or particularly expectation from any students and so on. So when we are designing a question paper, can we design a question paper based on this Bloom's taxonomy levels and so on? Like for example, asking the question at level 1, just which will be of remembering level or understanding the concept, and then after that, can student apply the concept and solve some kind of problems? Can student do the analysis of the given situation or evaluate the situation and so on? Or if you ask to design something new, based on the knowledge, can student achieve that one or not? So this kind of evaluation can be done and so on. But that normally when we are conducting, see, in autonomous system, we have examinations like as a continuous evaluation is there, then mid-semester evaluation is there, and then after that again continuous evaluation is there, and then after that end semester evaluation is there. Now see, that continuous evaluation or mid-semester evaluation or end semester evaluation has a fixed amount of time. Like for example, mid-semester evaluation is of 30 marks, and then time given for solving that question paper is of only 1 hour. Whereas end semester examination is of 50 marks, and the time given for solving that one is only 2 hours. Now, can we ask the question of level 6 in this one mid-semester or end semester examination? So it is not possible to do that one. So what kind of questions we can ask in the mid-semester or end semester examination or continuous evaluation? So like for example, the level 1, which is remembering, level 2 is understanding, level 3 is applying. So level 1 of Bloom's taxonomy, level 2 or level 3, up to level 3 we can ask the questions in the mid-semester or end semester examination, or to the some extent that is 4th level up to analysis. But we cannot ask the question in the time-bound examination a question of level 5, you know that evaluating, and level 6 is the creating. So we cannot ask the questions in the time-bound examination of level 5 and 6. Then see that ultimately student will have the knowledge, or student have learn the subject when that student will create something from whatever the knowledge he has attained, achieved, and so on. So this creation will be tested at level 6 and so on. So can we do the analysis of that one? Can we test whether the student has learned the things and then he can design something new out of that knowledge and so on? So this kind of things can be, yes, we can do the analysis of level 5 and 6 by giving mini projects to the student, or minor projects to the student, or applying the knowledge of that whatever they have studied to develop some new product and so on. So level 5 and level 6 can be evaluated in terms of giving the mini project or minor projects and internships or major projects and so on. So abilities like as an analysis, evaluation, creation can be assessed in the extended course or in a variety of students' work, like course projects or mini or minor projects, and or in the final year projects and so on. So you know that whole Bloom's taxonomy evaluation we can use for assessing the student. So up to 4th level we can assess the student in particularly in mid-semester examination or in end-term examination and so on. But for this one, level 5 and level 6, we can give students like as a mini project or major projects or minor project and so on, and we can evaluate the students based whether they have achieved that, grasp that knowledge or not, and so on. So assessment planning, like for example, before adopting this framework for reforms in the examination system of any university or institution, it is worthwhile to study the present pattern of assessment in each of the course in the program to gain insight about like for example, alignment of assessment question with the course learning outcome, whether all the learning outcomes are tested. Sometimes some learning outcomes are over-tested at the expense of others which may not be tested at all, and so on, or overall weightage in the assessment of each Bloom's learning levels and so on. So assessment method used to adequately assess the content and design to learn outcomes and so on. So based on the study, improvement priorities for each of the above factor needs to be arrived at. So a good and reasonable examination paper must consist of various difficulty level. See, I'll say that good question paper is that it should be easy to pass for the student, but difficult to score. Now, when you are like, for example, if you are asking all the questions in the examination, like which are based on memory or this one level 1 and level 2, so definitely everybody will score this one. But that does not justify that student have learned that subject. So definitely you have to ask the question of various levels, like as a level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. And those students who have learned that subject really thoroughly and they can use that knowledge for creating something, they should get the outstanding grades and so on. Okay, so if you look, most of the question papers, they are asked questions which are asked in the level of 1 or 2 or 3 at the most, not more than that, and so on. So a good a reasonable examination paper must consist of various difficulty level to accommodate the different capabilities of the students. So those students, those who are really hardworking, studied all concept of the subject, and they are able to apply that knowledge to create something, they should get the good grades. And then those students who merely just memorizing the things and doing the analysis and so on, so they should get the grades according to their knowledge and so on. So Bloom's taxonomy framework helps the faculty to set the question paper, examination paper that are well balanced, testing the different cognitive skills without tilt towards a very tough or very easy. So question paper should be like, for example, few questions should be like, for at least for passing, there should be easy, like level 1, level 2 should be up to 40 marks, level 1 to level 2. But beyond that one, if somebody would like to attend, then definitely the difficulty level of question paper, the question should be increased. So it should be from level 3 or level 4 and so on. So question paper should be set according to that. So if The present examination questions are more focused towards the lower cognitive skills, and conscious efforts need to be made to bring the application skills or higher cognitive skills in the assessment. So it is recommended that the institution or university level upper limit need to be arrived for a lower order skills. Like for example, as I said that there should not be more than 40% weightage for the knowledge oriented questions, like for example level 1 or level 2. Beyond that one, like okay, I said that question paper should be such that it should be easy to pass. Those who have attended all the classes regularly, so those students should get passed, but it should be difficult to score and so on. So it is important to note that as the nature of every course is different, the weightage for different cognitive levels in the question paper can also vary from course to course and so on. So see that these are the assessment method for Bloom's taxonomy. So you know that remembering is the level 1, understanding, then applying and analyzing. So all those levels we can ask the questions in your fixed time examination, like as a mid-semester examination or end-semester examination. But the questions which are of higher level, where you have to apply the knowledge, so those questions you can assess, or basically those knowledge you can assess through mini project or minor project or capstone projects or course projects and so on, by giving them, and then see the performance of those students, how they perform, whether they are able to design the systems or not. So that can be evaluated and so on. Now, just I'll give what kind of questions may be asked at level 1, what kind of questions may be asked at level 2 or up to level 6 and so on. So you know that there are 6 levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So first one is remembering. So here in this level, it is expected that student will have the ability to recall information like or facts or conventions or definitions or jargon or technical terms or classification or categories and criteria. Also, student will be able to recall methodology or procedures or abstractions or principles and theories in the field. Or students will get the knowledge of dates, event, places where it has been happened, like for example in history and so on. Or students may have some kind of mastery of the subject matter in a level 1. So in this, basically, you can ask the questions like which will be based on remembering the things, past things, and so on. Like for example, list this one, define this one, or describe this one, state this one, recite this one, or recall this one, or identify, or show, or label, or tabulate, or quote, or name, or who has done this one, when it has been done, where it was happened, etc. Such kind of questions which are based on remembrance or memory recall, that kind of questions will fall on the level 1. So just I have given simple example on level 1, what kind of questions you can ask. So definitely I'm from engineering side, so I have listed some questions of engineering, like state the Ohm's law, or list the physical and chemical properties of silicon, or list the components of AT2 converter. So here just you have to remember the things and then you have to reproduce in the examination. So that kind of questions will be of level 1 of remembering of Bloom's taxonomy. Whereas level 2 is understanding that subject or understanding that concept. So understanding information or grasping meaning or translate knowledge into new context, or interpret the facts, compare the result, or order the things, or group the things, or infer some causes, or predict consequences, what will happen, and so on. So this kind of knowledge students will get in when they have done that study up to level 2, like understanding and so on. So you can test the knowledge of that student at level 2, like for example, describe this concept or explain this concept in more detail rather than only definition kind of thing, or paraphrase or restate or associate or contrast and so on, or summarize this one, or differentiate and interpret the things. So such kind of questions may be asked at the level 2. So just these are the examples, like explain the importance of sustainability in engineering design, or explain the behavior of p-n junction diode under the different bias conditions and so on. So unless and until student has understood that concept, student will not be able to answer such kind of questions like, or what is the difference between the actual and formal parameters and so on. So understanding is very, very important to solve such kind of questions and so on. So this is level 2. So you can ask the questions or set the questions in your question paper of level 2, few questions of level 2 and so on. Then, so as I said that 40% weightage should be given to level 1 and level 2, so that students normally who has attended all the classes of that teacher will be able to write the answers, and he will be he can pass that course and so on, right? So use the information, like for example, third level is apply, or what kind of skill demonstrated in applying, like use the information or use the method and concept or laws, theories in new situation. What will happen if if that new situation, what kind of rule you will apply, or how do you do the mathematical modeling of that one, or how do you solve the problem using required skills or knowledge, or demonstrating the correct uses of a method or procedure. So this kind of skills students will acquire at level 3, or application of whatever the concept they have studied. So in that, to test that whether they have really understood that one or application and so on. So you can ask, like for example, calculate the value of this one. So definitely the student has to do some calculation if he have understood, or he has to apply the existing rules and regulations and so on. Or you can ask, predict this value, or apply or solve such kind of problems, or illustrate or use or demonstrate or determine or model or experiment, show, examine and so on. So such kind of verbs, verbs can be used to ask the question. So like for example, level 3 questions like model and realize the following behavior using diode with a minimum number of digital inputs, like turning on of a burglar alarm only during the night time when the locker door is opened. Now such kind of situation is given. So student, if he has understood the concept, definitely he will be able to solve that kind of problem. Okay. Or like for example, ladder of 5 meters long rests on this horizontal ground and leans against the smooth vertical wall of 20 degree with a vertical, and the weight of the ladder is 900 Newton, and at its middle the ladder is this one. And then after that, this all those specifications are given, or situations are given, and then you have to ask that you calculate the coefficient of friction between the ladder and the floor. So definitely if student has understood that concept, then he has to apply for a new situation and solve the value, and then tell whether that what is the friction between the ladder and floor and so on. So like that way, this kind of questions comes under the level 3 and so on. Now the fourth level is analyze level in the Bloom's taxonomy. So here, what we expect in the fourth level is what kind of skill students will achieve. That student will be able to break down the complex problem. Like a big situation, big problem is given, so he should be able to break down that one, and then identify the relationship between the different parts of a complex problem and try to understand those things. So such kind of knowledge the student will achieve at level 4 if that he has studied that subject well and so on. So to test that one, you can ask the question like, for example, classify these things or outline these things or break down this situation into different subcategories, and then analyze that one, or diagram or illustrate or infer and so on. So the questions like, for example, a class of 10 students consists of 5 male and 5 female. We intend to train a model based on their past scores to predict the future score. The average score of female is 60, whereas that of the male is 80. The overall average of the class is 70. And so this is the given situation. So give 2 ways of predicting the score and analyze them for fitting model and so on. So if the student has really understood that this one, so definitely you can ask this kind of question. And as I said that for time-bound examination like mid-semester examination or end-semester examination, you can ask the questions up to level 4. Not beyond that one, because level 5 and level 6 are time consuming. It requires more time, so you cannot ask the question to the examination which are time bound examination. Okay, so level 5 is nothing but the evaluate. Okay, so in the level 5, students will be able to understand what kind of skill they will be able to grasp. So they will be able to compare and discriminate between the ideas, they will make the assess value of theories or presentation, make choices based on reason, argument, or verify the value of evidence, or recognize the subjectivity, or use definite criteria, and so on. So here, basically, you can ask the question which are of design based, and this one mini projects and so on. So like, for example, skill development is the level 6. So with this, student will be able to use the old ideas to create the new one, or combine parts to make the new product, or generalized form in a given fact. And so definitely by achieving these skills, students will be able to design a new product, or and that can be evaluated by giving a mini project or major project or minor project to the students, and so on. So level 5 and level 6 can be evaluated in project-based learning, and so on, right? Now, so sample this one. So this is the question paper which I have given you a model question paper. Like, for example, this is the question paper for programming for problem solving, and maximum marks 100, 3 years duration. So question, see that Bloom's taxonomy level, that is DL, is L2, L3. So up to L4, you can ask the questions in end semester examination, and then marks and what kind of course outcome is there, then performance indicator, which kind of performance you are measuring, so that students will have this kind of attributes, graduate attribute, and so on. So all those things should be reflected from your questions which you are setting in the question paper. So this will be a model question paper for everyone, so that you'll be able to assess the student from overall perspective, that after graduating or after studying this subject, student will be able to have this kind of course outcome, and then this course outcome are linked with the program outcome, and this program's outcome with be linked with the graduate attributes, and so on. So like that way. So this is the question which where every question has given a Bloom's taxonomy label, as well as they are linked with the performance indices, as well as what is the what kind of program outcome or course outcome is there, and so on. So if you see the analysis, like for example, the Bloom's level wise mass distribution, like level 2, level 3, or level 1. So definitely I said that level 1 and level 2 should be of 40%, then 42%, or remaining 40% of level 3, and level 4 is of only 20%, or like that. So level 1, level 2 should be of 40% marks. 40%, and level 3 of 40, and then level 4 will be of 20%. So whole question paper you can set for time-bound examination up to level 4, and so on, right? So that students will be. Now, when you are basically assessing the students for written and oral communication, so there should be some rubrics set, so that we can evaluate. So these are just examples of rubrics for communication in the form of written or oral, and project design, or for assessing the mini project. What are the rubrics? So these are the rubrics, and then we can say that this project is 100% good, or 80% good, or average, or 40%, and so on. So every course they have to design that rubrics to assess, and definitely the expert in that subject will be really take efforts and set the rubrics, and then evaluate the students properly, and so on. Now, when you like to have, like for example, students should achieve the higher level of assessment, and so on, or students should be able to solve any kind of problem, and so on. As I said that in IIT they conduct the open book test, and so on. So definitely, unless and until your fundamentals are clear and you are having the ability to apply that one to solve the real world problem, you cannot solve the open book problems, and so on. So such kind of things should be also taken when you have autonomous system, and so on. So assessing higher order abilities and professional skills, like as in the 21st century, professional skills like as a soft skill or generic skill or transferable skills have emerged as important attributes for the graduate engineers. And then so you have to assess all those things by taking the extra activities apart from your regular class, regular things, and so on. Also, our students should be encouraged for taking the course projects. Nowadays, a lot of material is available on MOOCs on Swayam and then NPTEL and so on. So several courses are available. So students should be encouraged to learn more from these available or even YouTube also. On YouTube also, a lot of concepts are given very clearly and so on. So then this one, we should also, as an autonomous system, we should also encourage for the faculty member as well as student to use the open book test, so that students, we can evaluate really whether that student has understood that subject or not by using open book test and so on. So open book test, definitely it will fall in the level 5 and level 6 of Bloom's taxonomy. So what is the advantage of open book examination? So definitely this will be less demanding on memory and hence less stressful. So you don't have to recall it unless and until your fundamentals are clear. Then questions can emphasize on more problem solving or application of knowledge and higher order thinking than rather simple recall or memorizing. Then assessment questions can reflect real life situation that require comprehension or information and so on. Right. So designing a good open book examination is that set the question that requires student to do the things with the information available with them, rather than to merely locate and correct the information and summarize and rewrite. So they should be able to basically solve that problem by understanding the concept and so on. Right. Now, just I'll elaborate the examination systems which we adopt in our autonomous system. So examination planning is very, very important. Examination conduction, and then during examination, after examination, and then how to give the grades. So I'll go quickly on this one. So you know that the duties of control of examination is to conduct the examination smoothly in the institute, prepare the schedule or timetable of mid-semester and end-semester, appointment of the examiners, and decide for the manuscript and grades card and their printing and so on. Or actually the conduct of examination is also done by the control of examination, like distribution of the paper, arrangement of the seat, or assessment of answer book, or preparing mark sheet, arrangement for reassessment or scrutiny, or preparing final result and declaring the result. So all those are the responsibility of control of examination in the autonomous system. So, or make the arrangement for passing all the examination bills, or approval of the result in the CNET, or interface with the university for our degree. Like we have a SRTMU, so definitely our control of examination is the interface between the institute and university, or will work along with the Dean Academics and will receive the instruction directly from the director and so on. Now, so we have to start like with academic calendar. So before starting the new academic year, we have to set the calendar. So preparation of the student database, or generally Dean Academic prepares the academic calendar, and this is done in the last week of June. And after that, at the time of registration, once the students are registered for the new courses, then this is happened in the first week of July, and after registration is over, prepare the final student database of all engineering, including FY and all those things. So generally this happens in second week and third week of July, and distribute the final class by student list to the head of the department and class coordinator. So that is the job of control of examination in the autonomous system. Then after that, you have to prepare the examination work, like as a printing the admit cards, and then preparation of the examination timetable, preparation of database of session-wise, hall-wise, seating of students, and preparation of seating arrangement database, and so on. And then preparation of the examination, what like as a subject-wise and hall-wise packet information we have to give to all the course coordinators, so that course coordinator will prepare their question papers and submit that question paper to the control of examination. So session-wise details of invigilator required from each department should be communicated to the department, so that the department will deploy a number of invigilator for examination. Printing hall-wise stickers, and making the seating arrangement, or printing session-wise and hall-wise attendance, mark sheet, and provide the template for question paper to all examiners. So these things has to done by the control of examination before examination and so on. So this is generally work sequence of autonomous examination, like meeting of the class coordinator. We take it 17 days before the start of examination. Then timetable preparation and copies circulation to all HODs for verification is done 15 days before the examination. Then display timetable of the copies on notice board 14 days before examination. Then coordinator labor requirement that in the control of examination has to do 13 days before. Preparation of seating arrangement 10 days before. Question paper packet information to all course coordinator 8 days before. Then issue letter to timetable in charge, vehicle in charge, site and electrical maintenance cells, so that everything will be kept ready at least 7 days in advance. Preparation of attendance and mark sheet 7 days in advance. Advance for remuneration if required 5 days in advance. Last date for receipt of question paper should be 4 days in before the start of examination. And then preparation session wise invigilator list 3 days advance. And then check for cleanliness in the classroom, electrical fans, tubes 1 day advance. Seat arrangement should be done 1 day advance, and displaying the seating arrangement on a notice board, that is also done 1 day prior to the examination. Then invigilator, work sequence during the examination. Control of examination has to keep the record of invigilator, collection of the attendance and blank answer books, then collection of and cross verification of utilized answer book, issue mark list, answer sheet along with the question paper to the course coordinator. Then after examination, this control of examination has to do the payment of invigilator, coordinator, collection of mark list and answer book after correction, collection of grade after final examination, data entry of grade after final examination. So all those are the things that has to be done at the examination section in the autonomous. And then after that, result process. So generally results are in autonomous system, results are declared at the departmental level. If you go to the IIT, result is declared by the individual course coordinator. But in the state autonomous institute, results are declared at the department level. Only the first year result is declared at the central level. Other course results are declared at the department level. MTech result is also declared at the department level. Now, after result declaration, then you have to calculate the semester grade point average or CGPA, and then printing grade cards of all the students. So that is to be done within 8 to 10 days. Generally, you know that since our college became autonomous in 2004, now today is 2022. Since 2004 to 2022, we never changed the timetable. Or even the date of result is declared on the first, before starting of the examination semester, and that result will be declared on the same date, even if we have to work very hard, like till midnight, but we have declared our result on the same date. Not a single day has been changed since last 18 years. So within 6 days after result examination, we declare the result. So very quickly, generally in the university system, results are declared after 45 days, but in autonomous, results are declared within 6 days after examination. And students get 1 week, 1 month vacation, approximately 1 month vacation in the winter and 2 months vacation in the summer, so that student can plan their internship in the industry in the winter as well as summer. So total yearly 3 months internship they can do well in advance, and they can do the planning of that month well in advance and so on. So all those are the arrangement, and this is the generally for students in the class, if number of students are more than 30, we adopt the statistical method for adoption of awarding the grades. So this is the range, and then we declare the grade as an A+ grade, or A, or B+ or B and C+, and so like that. F grade will be those students who got less than 40% marks for them. F grade will be there. And then relative grading system is adopted for the students where number of students are more than 30. But if number of students are less than 30, then in that case, absolute grading system is adopted. So students who got marks 91 to 100, they will get A+ grade, 80 to 90, they will get A grade, and so on. So this is the absolute grading system. This system is adopted when the number of students are less than 30. And relative grading system is adopted when the number of students are more than 30, and so on. So like that way. So after that examinations, control of examination has to keep the academic record of used manuscript and so on, at least for 1 year, and then after that they can dispose and so on. So So all those booking keeping has to be done by the control of examination office and so on. So this is all about okay, what kind of question paper we should set for by revamping the examination system, and then how do you conduct the examination in autonomous systems. So thank you very much for listening me for 1 hour. So over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Any questions from students and faculty?
Audience, any doubts you have, please you may ask very clearly. So that how they are, I must understood the exam system and work pattern, etc. Any questions from?
Sir, yes, sir.
Sir, I am Dr. Bekar MM. I would like to ask one question to you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It was very best speech about the reformation of examination, how to set the question papers, what will be the level of the asking question, what is the grading, marking, all these things. Sir, it's I think related to all the autonomous, means engineering technical side institute topic related to, but it is maybe useful for the university also.
Yes.
If there are autonomous two college, A and B college, if they are conducting examination as per their norms, having different levels and scrutinize and asking question, projects, all these things. One college is having so much steps of evaluating the students and giving program output, and Y college is not scrutinizing such all these things, doing all these things, but still they have good results. So when student came out for their job and opportunity, how they should be compared, because though both institutes are having different norms for their own. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Actually, see, it's very valid questions, and then student take admission based on the result. Okay, as I said, that student will prefer the least resistance path. Okay, so at the end we have to think, like for example, whether students have really learned the subject or not, and then they will survive in the society for real world solving the real world problem or not. Okay, just instead of short benefit and then reducing the quality, reducing the level of this one and increasing the only number, this is not good. So my suggestion is that every college should consider about this one. Even I'll tell you that in 2010, around 2010, many engineering college opened in the whole India, and now there are several colleges where there is no single admission. So a very valid question I asked at that time to the AICTE chairman and AICTE advisor, why you are opening so many colleges? So their answer was, see, those who maintain the quality, they will survive. Those who will not maintain the quality, we have a choice that they can come and then they can close the college and so on. So definitely, if your quality is good, student will realize that one, and they will get good jobs, and then definitely they will be a good citizen of India. So yeah, we have to think in long term rather than in short term, sir. That is my opinion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes,
Sir,
yes,
want to speak one. I want to discuss one thing, that NEP 2020 has focused upon the 50% or 40% online courses, that is NPTEL, MOOCs, and SWAYAM, or the parallel courses. Now we are talking about the autonomous institution, professional colleges and vocational colleges, but in the humanities, that is BA, BCom, BSc courses, or the majorly humanity courses, the students are not attending the colleges, and they are preferring for the open university and distance learning.
Yes.
So how we can assess or evaluate such type of students, COPOs or the program outcomes
No, see, madam, actually, see, whether they attend college
in
or
these
not,
face-to-face learning or distance learning?
so definitely there will be some problem for assessing. But if you
Yeah.
send a question, like for example, whether that's okay, some student do the self-study, some student do the MOOC courses or so on. So after that, they are learning, whether they are learning, okay, in the class or not. Now, whether they have learned that concept or not, that is our job. And okay, this can be done by setting the question paper, as I said, like, okay, level 1, level 2, level 3, up to level 4, you can ask in the time bound this one. But okay, if you are giving some kind of project for the students and this one, so you can evaluate their this one performance of level 5 and level 6. So evaluation, I don't think that there will be any problem for evaluation. After all, from where they are learning, that is not important. Important is that whether they have learned or not. Now, and from examination point of view, okay, we have to assess whether they got the graduate aptitude attributes or program outcomes and this one. So just by mapping all those and then setting the question paper of that quality, I hope that we can evaluate even students are, if they are not attending the classes or they are external preparing to be this one open university and so on. So evaluation will not be a problem. This is my opinion.
सर शेअरिंग स्टॉप करा ना प्लीज.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
पोपटे मॅडमला काहीतरी विचारायचं.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. First of all, thank you very much for this brilliant discussion that you had with us right now concerning examination reform.
That is,
I think you have already partially answered my
give the
question.
practical work.
Still, I will go ahead and continue. Sir, I just had a request for you that especially in the past 2 years, we had to shift to the online MCQ mode due to unavoidable reasons, you know that. But while formulating such kind of question papers, I think we all experienced that in a way we were not completely satisfied with the way we were able to evaluate our students or with the outcome of that evaluation. So could you give some pointers as to how we can maintain quality while formulating online MCQ papers? Any particular tip or pointer for that?
It's a really challenging, madam. I'll tell you that we also tried a lot, not only we, but many people in several universities. But the technologies are such that, okay, I'll tell you a simple example. Initially, when we conducted the online examination, at that time, we found that many students got same marks. Okay. Out of marks, because you know that WhatsApp groups are there and then students can this one. After that, we decided that, okay, we will set the question paper such that student will have to solve and then after that answer and so on. But still, student got the, okay, they got less mark, not out of marks, or we have not asked the question which are there or answers are there in the internet and so on. So we asked the question totally different questions, but still, okay, only marks were reduced, but the range of marks was same for all the students. So it was really difficult. Or after that, okay, proctor examination came and so on. So still we could not solve that problem at presently. And then most of the students got grades like as 8th grade or 9th grade and so on. Particularly, I'll tell you that in now when student coming from online to offline, and now their grades are reflecting. So those who got 9 points, now they are getting 6 and so on. So in online, it is really challenging. And even I also don't have any clue that how we can set the question paper so that students will be evaluated properly in the online mode and so on. Unless and until, like for example, now online examinations of this one, GATE examination is conducted or JEE is conducted or CET is conducted, where mobile phones or internets student cannot use, and then student has to go and then questions are okay, the sitting arrangement is done. But when the students are at home and then they have their connection with students, it is very difficult unless and until even if it is online examination and then this one examinations are conducted in the protected mode or like that. Then and then it is possible to maintain the quality.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Today,
Thank you for giving the opportunity.
University lecture series. Dr. Manesh Pokharkar from Electronics and Electrification Department, Religious Institute of Technology, Nanded, has delivered a very interesting and enlightening lecture and presentation. I thought it's autonomous college and it is more basically for engineering, but it is definitely very useful and fruitful for ourselves also. And sir, 2 weeks before you have an excellent lecture, research methodology, dissertation, thesis
Yes.
preparation, and all.
Yes, sir.
You have.
I didn't get, sir. Your voice is not clear, sir. Please. Pardon?
अविनाश सर कन्क्लूड करा. कदम सर.
जी हाँ सर. बोला
भोसले सर.
हाँ बोलतो.
हम बोला तुम्ही बोला.
सर सर आवाज ना.
हो. हाँ सर. मॅडम येतो का आवाज?
हो येतो सर येतो.
Sir, you have highlighted today this lecture series organized by our university. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir and Pro Vice Chancellor Sir, they have given this opportunity to inculcate to these ideas, various educational, academic and research ideas in our campus, and students and teachers, they get the benefit. So on this various aspects you have focused, you have very carefully talked about the every aspect, right from what are the needs of the examination system till to announce the result, what preparations are required. These are very carefully you have prepared everything here as exams and other need systems and how reforms are essential in this exam conduct education system and outcome of this outcome-based education system, continuous assessment and evaluation, result, designing of question paper setting, the types of the question paper setting. So, and the different levels you have excellently highlighted that different levels of exam, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that, and the module questions, etc. Definitely, you have given this very fruitful presentation, and you have taken your good time to explain all the things to our all the audiences here. On behalf of the university, I am very much thankful for you, and also the deans of our various faculties, Professor L.M. Wagmare sir, Professor Ajay Tengse sir, Professor Vajanta Patil madam, Professor Vasant Bhosle sir, and entirely our Swami Ramanand Tirtha University and our technical staff. We are very much thankful for your valuable these talks, and hope that this will help you in encouraging in doing so and taking the various precautions from examination start to up to end. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. So shall I take a leave now?
Yes, with the permission of the president of this function, Dean Madam, I'm thankful to one and all. Thank you, sir.